I'm such an idiot. Oops, I just got it on my joggers. Okay. Alrighty then. 6 hours later. So in today's video, we have a couple of cheeky dupes, which I found when I was just browsing through Primark, and I was like, this palette looks a little familiar. So I popped into the Tottenham Court Road Primark on Oxford Street. Is it on Oxford Street? Well, I guess it's on Tottenham Court Road. And oh my god, they had so much makeup. They've expanded their like beauty section so much. It was a bit overwhelming. I was just like walking down between all the aisles, like, and there was so much stuff. But there was a whole section that had eyeshadow palettes, and I was just having a little browse through them. They had a few testers and stuff, and then I opened one of them up and was like, I have a feeling this is a dupe for the James Charles palette. So this is Morphe's palette with James Charles. Obviously it is a lot bigger, and it's got like different kind of coloured writing on it, but it's got like the cursive writing here. But when you actually open them up and look at the colour scheme on the inside, I was literally like, mate, you're not even trying to be subtle about it. Like, how can they think that they can get away with that? The James Charles palette is like $40 or something, maybe it's even more than that. The Primark palette cost me £10, which for a Primark makeup product is actually a little bit on the pricey side. So I'm going to be testing that today, and then I've also got a couple of other Primark makeup bits as well. I got their double coverage matte foundation, which is supposed to be a dupe of the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have tried this before, but it was a long time ago when they'd like first launched it, and I'm not sure if they've reformulated it, but I definitely needed new colours. And then I also saw this, which is the False Lash Queen mascara, which was £3, and suspiciously looks a little bit like the packaging of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and also the L'Oreal Paradise mascara. It looks very similar to those types of mascaras. So I think what I'm going to do with these is do one eye using the Primark palette and one eye using the James Charles palette and see who wins. Please let me know if there's any other Primark makeup products that you've seen that you want me to test. Leave me a comment down below, because they had so much stuff there. I just didn't know what to buy, because I didn't know like what was new, what was good, what was supposed to be a dupe of something. So if you have any suggestions for what you want me to test, let me know, because I can definitely go back. By the way, just a little heads up, if you guys wanted to get your hands on some of my Skinny Dip stuff the first time round, so I've got phone cases, makeup bags, jewellery. If you weren't able to get them the first time round, they may or may not be having a little restock for Black Friday. It was so hard to tell like what shade was going to be good, because the lighting in the Primark was so bad that all of the shades just looked the same. But then I took these home and I was like, okay, this one, which is light beige 08, is definitely going to be way too dark, and then the other shade that I got is nude 05, so I'm hoping this one is going to work for me. Oh, I'm not sure if you can see in there, but I've got a hard cemented, oh, is that just a stopper? Right. I'm such an idiot. It's a plastic stopper. May as well just put that on my face. So like I said, this was £5. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have a stopper. As a stopper, of course it had a stopper. It doesn't have a pump. So you kind of just have to pour it out, which I'm not a big fan of because it can get quite messy. And also I don't know how much to pour out, but this shade looks like it could work. I seem to remember that I used to quite like this foundation, and if I can find a foundation that is £5, oops, I just got it on my joggers. Oh no, I put too much on. Yeah, but like I was saying, if I can find a foundation that is £5 that works, then I'm all about that. Wow, that's really good coverage. It kind of smells a bit like paint, but I quite like the smell of paint, so it's fine. When I used to have pale skin, I just had the lightest shade, which is called Porcelain, and that was perfect. So they definitely go light enough, and they did have quite a lot of dark shades as well, which was really good. I was quite impressed with the range. But wow, that is really good coverage. It's made my skin look beautiful. It looks really smooth. It's got a really nice kind of semi-matte finish with a slight sheen to it, as you can see. The one thing is it does feel quite thick on my face, and it does look quite thick, like it doesn't look like a natural foundation, but then if you like full coverage, it's got pretty damn good coverage, and it's £5. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like my concealer, powder, brows, like the rest of my base products, and then we will move on to the eyeshadow palette. I'm actually going to use the Primark Brunch Club highlighter, which looks like this, and oh my god, these highlighters are just unbelievable. I just realised that I fully powdered my eyelids, so I'm just going back over them with my concealer to just like make them a bit tacky. So the downsides of both of these palettes, even though the James Charles one is really expensive, it doesn't have a mirror, but he has relaunched it recently in a smaller size, which I think is a lot more convenient because this is a big palette. And he has launched it with a mirror as well, and that version is cheaper, which I kind of think like they should have maybe done the cheaper, smaller version with a mirror in the first place. But this is what the palette looks like. I have tested it before, I've done a whole video on it, so if you'd like to see that, I will try and remember to put it up here, but I probably won't, so maybe just type in So Does Nails James Charles and it will come up. One of the differences that I definitely am noticing between these two palettes, well, I mean, obviously they look different because the Primark one is square pans, but they have made some of the shades that should be shimmers, they've made them mattes, and some of the shades that should be mattes, they've made them shimmers. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple of swatches. See the orange in the middle, which in James's palette is completely matte. This is the Primark one, but they've made it slightly shimmery. Okay. Oh, that Primark one feels really nice. Okay, that Primark shimmer is actually really nice. I don't even know what type of look I'm going to go for today. They're definitely different shades. Primark have kind of got the same sort of idea, but they haven't got like exact colour matches. So I'm going to try and recreate this look here, which is the kind of rainbow look that James did when he first launched the palette, and I did do this with his original palette. We're going to start with a purple in the very corner. And each time that I switch between palettes, I'm cleaning my brush in this little like product cleany sponge thing. Okay, so we're going to start with the Primark palette, and I'm going to go in with this purple shade here. Oh, okay, hello. That's actually really nice. And then I'm going in with this shade from the James Charles palette. By the way, I just want to say now, I do not agree with this at all. Like, I'm all for a dupe of something if it's not like directly ripping off somebody's idea. Like, yeah, I know that you can get like similar palettes with similar colours, but obviously formulas are different. But in terms of actual creative design of a palette, if you're going to try and make something more affordable, yeah, do something similar, but don't literally take every single colour the exact same in the exact order and like take it from one person's head and put it into something else. Like, I don't really think that's right. I know that I am all about like dupes and finding cheaper alternatives, but I think there's better ways of doing it rather than just exactly copying someone else. Like, yeah, make a colourful palette, but do it in your own way, if you see what I mean. Like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so far both of those are blended really nicely. The James Charles one is a little bit more kind of vibrant in terms of like the actual brightness of the eyeshadows. Here's the floor on the Primark palette. All of the shades that are red in here that should be matte are all shimmery. So like this is the red shade, which I mean, look at my palm. Fair enough, like it doesn't look bad, but in the James Charles palette, we've got a gorgeous matte red, which is completely different. Oh my god, like you see what I mean? They're just not the same thing. That's the one thing where I guess you would struggle with the Primark palette, but I'm gonna go in with the red anyway, which is number 13. But I don't normally put shimmers in my crease. Yeah, because that looks, whoa. Also, this is definitely more of a pink rather than a red. Okay, yeah, I already don't like that. And it's the same with the orange shades. The bright orange in here is a shimmer, when in the James palette, it's a matte. So that's the one downside. Well, I guess there's kind of a couple of downsides. I'm just going to blend that out with this shade, which is 004, which is a matte. And I'm going to start blending this orange into my inner corner. I'm just going to dip back into a tiny bit of that purple because it is kind of coming off a little bit with that shimmer shade. And then the James Charles palette, I'm taking this bright red and then the bright orange, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. But I have a feeling that this side is going to come out a lot more vibrant. I mean, yeah. Alrighty then. Even just having that one colour has made these look entirely different. Let's go in with the orange. I am just going to go back in with a bit more of that Primark red, and I guess try and like build it a bit more because it's kind of just disappeared. Okay, you know, it's a shimmery pink, it's not a red. So I'm going to go on to my lower lash line, and from the Primark palette, I'm going to take this blue right here. Ooh, okay, that's pretty pigmented. And then I'm taking this matte green. Wow, okay, those two are really pigmented actually. The matte shades in this are really nice. And then finally for my lower lash line, I'm taking this lighter matte green. Those are really not bad at all. And then I'm doing the exact same on the other side with this blue, this green, and this green. There's definitely more matte blue options in James's palette. Oops, did I just go in with the wrong blue? Indeed I did. So even though the Primark ones did perform well, this side still takes it. Like this kind of brighter green is definitely lacking a little bit on this side. I'm just gonna try and build that up a little bit more on this side. And no, that's not really working. Okay, I'm gonna cut my crease using a bit of concealer. Oops, it probably doesn't help there's blue eyeshadow all over this. They're definitely not perfectly even. From the Primark palette, I'm taking this yellow shade, which compared to James's does not look half as bright, but I don't want to judge it until I put it on my eyes. Yeah, okay, even packing that on here, I can tell that this is going to be nowhere near as bright as the James Charles one. I mean, to be fair, yellows are tricky, but I mean, that's definitely very meh. Then we're going in with this yellow, which even just looking at it in the pan, you can see the comparison. This one definitely gets darker as soon as you put it on your lid. Oops. Oh, didn't really want to do that, did I? Okay, so as you can see, this side is definitely a lot more bright and bold. This one is kind of like a muted, like, colour of banana cough syrup. I'm just going to dip back into the purple. And I'm just going to blend over that edge. And then obviously the same with the Primark purple. I am kind of curious to try out some of the shimmer shades. This gold right here, and then I'm going to take the Primark equivalent, which is this one. And I'm going to kind of layer that over the top of that yellow and into my inner corners. Just to see... Oh wow, that's actually quite nice. Let's put some of that here as well. That's actually really pigmented. Although it's kind of more silver than gold. Yeah, that's definitely more champagne-y, and the Primark one is more silver. And that is not wanting to go on very well over the top of that. Okay, well now these look really different because those two shades did not match up at all. I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade from the James Charles palette, which is another shimmer. This one feels a lot more buttery. This one is quite hard, to be honest. Yeah, okay, this one is definitely a lot more similar to the Primark one. I'm going to take a little bit of the shimmery purple, which is this shade in the Primark palette, but in James's palette, it is this colour right here. Because the Primark one, in full honesty, looks a little bit dead. Oh no. You know what? It's not bad. I don't think I'm wrong when I think that the James Charles one is better. This one's got like blue glitter in it. Oh, I also got Fallout. Okay, yeah, no. Those are not even on the same level. Just while I'm here, I'm going to test the black in both of these palettes because Primark have actually done a matte black. And I'm really intrigued. Yeah, the Primark one has got like a tiny bit of sheen in it. Can you see that? And it's also more of like a charcoal grey when you actually swatch it. But even so, I'm going to go in with the Primark one on this eye right here. And I'm going to line my lash line with this. Yeah, okay, that could definitely be a bit more black. Okay, yeah, this one is definitely a lot more black. The Primark one almost looks grey in comparison. This is the difference between the two of them. You can really see that like shiny pink shade there on my brow bone. Oh, that looks weird. So like this still looks nice. I wouldn't say this looks bad, but when it's an obvious dupe for the James Charles palette, this one definitely has performed a lot better. But then again, I guess the price points are very different. But I mean, overall, the shimmers in the Primark one are a little bit meh. So I'm now testing this £3 False Lash Queen mascara. The packaging is really similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I think that's what it's supposed to be. It kind of almost looks like metal. And the brush is just your standard kind of bristly brush. And again, it looks pretty similar to the Too Faced one. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to say straight up, I've definitely had Primark mascaras that are better than this one. It's not really giving me any volume. Maybe if I do a couple coats, we'll be good. But then do I have time to sit here every day and do like 10 coats of mascara? Not really. 6 hours later. Oh man, I was really hoping that I was going to find my new favourite mascara and it was only going to cost me £3. I mean, it's not bad. Well, actually no, I mean, it's not great. I wouldn't use it again, so maybe I do think it is bad. Just gonna add a little bit of cake. I've still got that yellow on my face. So this is how we are looking. To be honest, the foundation, I really like it. The eyeshadow palette just is not up to scratch with James's, but if you want a colourful eyeshadow palette that's only a tenner and can create a look like this, like I still like it, but it's just not as good as this one. But then I guess that's to be expected when it is £10. It's actually really freaking me out, like I don't look like myself in the viewfinder. So I'm now going to answer a question of the day. If you guys would like to be featured in my next video, leave me a question down below with the hashtag question of the day. Today's question comes from Tiffany Lawrence, and she says, "Hey Soph, are you doing Vlogmas this year?" I think I have spoken about this in a previous Q&A maybe. I'm not gonna do Vlogmas every single day this year, because I do vlogs on my second channel, but I'm not very good at keeping up with them, as you can probably tell if you are subscribed there, because I upload vlogs like a month or two late. But I did do Vlogmas a couple of years ago, but then I just realised that it literally took over my whole life. I don't know how people do it, as well as like keeping up main channel videos. I guess if some people upload like once a week, then it's a bit more manageable to do Vlogmas every day on their second channel. But for me, like uploading 3 times a week or like 2 times a week and then doing Vlogmas on top of like doing other things and seeing my friends and my family, I just got very stressed the year that I did do it, because I was finding that I was like filming during the day, I was editing during the day, on top of that I was filming Vlogmas content, trying to do stuff for Vlogmas, and then my evenings I would just spend editing, and I'd be editing until about like 1 or 2 in the morning. I wouldn't be socialising with my friends or my family, which is what I really want to do around Christmas time. So yeah, I found that it just kind of got me down a bit and got me quite stressed out, and so I'd rather not do that this year. Like I'd rather spend December and Christmas with my family and friends as much as I can and take it a little bit more easy. But that being said, I will definitely be vlogging more throughout December, so hopefully that's okay. Right, I'm gonna go now. I need to go and give my dad a lift because I'm a great daughter. And yeah, I hope you guys are good, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!